I only lasted 4 days. 4 freaking days in this world before. Hi, this is Kai. So, let me tell you the rest about day 3. I was like, still having that checkup, right? And the doctor was giving me a weird, like, as an empath, you have to trust your emotions a lot, okay? Especially your instincts. My instincts was telling me that the doctor was dangerous. Like, every single time he got near me, I kept on feeling like I was going to, like, unalive. Yeah, unalive. That's what we're going to say. Every single time he got near me, I felt like I was finna straight flat meet the gate. Meets straight flat not be alive anymore. Like every single time he got near me, my instincts were saying danger, danger, danger. And I remember screaming, like crying hard. And I was terrified, to be honest, because my instincts were like screaming at me like so loudly, like my entire body starts shaking, because when I get too scared, my body starts shaking unconsciously, and it was shaking hard. I was like shaking, and the doctor the doctor just said, "Oh, she must be cold. That's not why I was shaking." I was terrified. My heart was beating out of its chest, and my blood was rushing, and my eyes dilated, and I was terrified. Like, I felt petrified. Like, it was, like when I think about it, I feel slightly scared now, but like I'm almost over it. Kind of, it's complicated, really, but yeah, I felt like terrified. It was horrible, but like he didn't do nothing to me, but scared me half to unalive. Yes, not alive. Yes, to nth. Yes, and I was terrified. And eventually the checkup was over. He said I was healthy, even though I wasn't. That was a lie. Like, I was healthy, but I wasn't. And like eventually, the nurses took me back to the nursery room. And I remember thinking to myself, that was terrifying. That was like scary. Like, my heart is beating out my chest, and I don't know why. My instincts was like telling me to run, but I couldn't run because I'm a newborn. All I could do is barely move. Like, I could barely move my head. All I could do is turn my head, but I can't lift my head. But it was because my head was heavier than I thought it was. Like you don't realize how heavy certain parts of your body is until you try to like do certain things. Like whenever you stand on one foot, you realize how heavy the rest of your body is, because you don't even notice it whenever you walk around and stuff, because you're just used to the weight of your body, you know. So yeah, I remember I was in the nursery, in the incubator, and I was like terrified. And I was thinking, I looked to the left, and Jay wasn't there. And I was like, Jay, I miss you. Because at least I had someone to talk to. You were my, like, friend. And now you're gone somewhere. I don't know where you went. And I was, like, sad and alone and terrified. Because, like, there was, like, one more other, like, in terms of, like, female to male ratio, there was more male babies in that, like, nursery than, like, female babies. There was, like, a few female babies, and at that moment there was like 2 female babies left that was still there. And then eventually I fell asleep, and I woke up, and it was the next day, and it was day 4 of me being alive on this God's forsaken planet that we call home. We call Earth. We call the terrors of my nightmares. Yes, the the thing that plagues me. Oh my god. Like, I've been telling you what happened on day 4, but my heart is already acting up. Like, my heart is stressing out, and I'm trying to tell it to calm down, but it's not calming down. It's just to freak out. And, day 4, I was, oh no, it's getting stressed. Ooh, how am I gonna explain this without getting a video taken down? Yes, I got it away. I figured it out. So anyways, so day 4 began, and I woke up, I don't know what time it was, and I was hungry, and the nurses weren't there yet, so I was waiting, looking around to see if any other babies were up. They weren't. They was asleep. I was the only one up. I remember looking to my left again to see if Jay came back, and Jay was not there, and I was sad. And I waited, and then eventually fell asleep again because I was hungry, but I was also really weak. So eventually I woke up again to the babies crying. The other newborn babies, they were loud, and they woke me up. And when I woke up, the 3 nurses came to me and were like, "Oh, you're so adorable," and stuff like that. And they gave me a bottle. I was like, finally, I was starving. My stomach was hurting. The lack of food, it was hurting bad. I was like, finally, some food. And I was drinking the milk. And after I drank the milk, they said, "Oh, are you ready for your checkup today?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And like, "Are you ready for your checkup today?" And I immediately got that feeling back, that danger feeling again. I was like, no. And then, they called my parents, and they took me to the checkup room. I was stressing out because I felt the danger feeling, and my instincts were screaming at me. The checkup started at let me see, 10 a.m. That's what it started at, because I'm calculating this mess. It was the total checkup. The checkup was 8 hours in total, but it started at 10 a.m. It was early. I don't know why I was up at that time. Anyways, I'm not a morning person really. I'm more like an afternoon person. When I wake up in the morning, sometimes I just be like, why in the world I'm up? I'm not even a morning person. So, they took me to the freaking checkup room, and he was the doctor was like, "Oh, we need to do a checkup and check to see if she's growing right and whatever." I freaking hate that doctor. There's a reason why I hate him. There's a reason. So the checkup would continue, and they gave me more shots. I don't know what the shots were for, but it hurt bad. It hurt bad. Those freaking needles, I hated those needles. That's probably the reason why I don't like needles. Whenever I see needles, I'm like, ooh, no, I don't want a shot. Get it away from me. Because it was so painful. But needles now it doesn't hurt as much as the needles when I was a kid. The needles now are way less painful than the ones when I was younger. I hated getting shots, okay? There was a reason. It was hurt. It'd be you could breathe in and out to try to lessen the pain, but it did not do nothing. That pain is just there to stay. And I was hurt. It was hurting for 30 minutes. And while it was hurting, he was talking to my parents about the things I should be eating and whatever. I didn't really understand what he was talking about. And the vitamins and medicine that I should be taking. Note, medicine. This is a very important thing. And he recommended this clinic that he knew of. And oh no, that clinic was terrible. I freaking hated that place. And yeah. And then I freaking hate this Barry. And then he said he needed some time alone with me so he could take a more in-depth why is English hard? In-depth thing. Deep depth thing. a more closer look, I gave up because English, I'm not good at English. So a closer look at me, right? Alone, just me and him, by myself with him. The thing that my instincts keep on warning me about in danger, and I felt like I was just going to RIP. And I started crying as hard as I could, like crying, like get me away from this person, get me away from him, get me away. And they didn't understand because of my siblings, I'm the oldest, so they messed it up a lot with me, like so badly that I have lots of issues due to the fact they messed up so much. And they didn't understand why I was crying, like at all. Like I was crying my heart out. I was terrified. My danger, my instincts were driving me crazy up the wall, and it was like screaming at me not to like be left alone with this guy. And at that time, the clock was at 11, like 58, or like it was close to 12 o'clock. Okay, and they left me alone with this doctor. After I cried, and like while I was crying, before they left me alone with this doctor, while I was crying, he said, "Oh, this always happens when I'm trying to take this always happens like the lines." He said, "Oh, newborn babies always cry again." Like this happened multiple times, and I got even more terrified because I don't know what the heck was going to happen, but my instincts were telling me to like run and stuff. But as a newborn, you can't move that much. I can't run. I'm a newborn. I can't move that much. So I was having a very hard time, and they left me alone with this doctor. It was what happened after that. I think about this very. I think I'm gonna cry. I think I'm gonna cry, but I'm telling myself not to cry. Self control. So after my parents left me alone to fend for myself, yet again, left me alone to fend for myself. You know what he did? He immediately took off all my clothes, and then after that he pulled out his junk, which was 6 inches long, by the way, and like long, and it was like dirty too. Like it was like dirty. It didn't look right. It was uncircumcised too, so he had like that like foreskin stuff on it, and like his like thing was like terms of like, let me use this ruler right quick to tell you how wide like it was like in width. Let me tell you. Instead, I'm going to show you with pictures. Okay, one second. I need to take the pictures. Okay, so I will just tell you the inches of how like wide it was. So in inches, his the tip of his junk was like 1 and like almost 2 inches. Okay, like it was 1 and like 0.8 like inches. So the size of my hole at the time, hole was less than an inch. Like it's like it was around 0.5. That's how small it was, as it was before he decided to. So yeah, that's how small it was. And then like I remember I was on that table and I was terrified. And also there was a clock behind me. It was an analog clock. It was like black around, and then like the part where the hands of the clock was black, and then like behind the background of the clock was white. It was an analog clock, and at that time it was exactly 12 p.m. and Oh, it was just the beginning of my suffering. I'm trying to make myself feel better, but I'm thinking about this and I just want to cry, but it already happened, so I can't. Crying is not gonna help much, really, at the moment. So, he took his junk and inserted it right into me, and it hurt like, it hurt bad, like, bad, because, like, my whole immediately, like, split, and that hurt bad. I could feel the bleeding from it, and he pounded me hard with that, and I felt my organs rip, and the pain, it's like hard to describe. It was I can't say the word, excruciating. Yes, that. It was so painful. Like as soon as he did that, I felt my internal organs rip, like my this is called my reproductive organs ripped, and he straight flat stabbed straight flat through my right lung. It hurt bad. Like, sure, your lungs have holes, but those holes are like small and tiny that you cannot see. It ripped straight through my organs, and I was in a lot of pain. I wanted to cry, but like, since I have a health condition where if I get to a certain amount of pain, like close to unaliving amount of pain, I can't cry. Like, I can't cry at all. Like, sometimes I even lose my voice. I can't even cry. And like, I just really hate that I have this condition, because I've been wanting to cry bad, and I couldn't cry. Like, I was trying hard to cry, and the tears would not come out, and my voice wouldn't come out either. And it was so painful. Like, I'm trying hard not to cry right now, but it hurt bad. Like my organs were getting ripped like paper. Like, like the pain is indescribable. Like, it was so painful, and this lasted for 6 whole hours. It lasted for 6 freaking pain suffering hours, and then like 30 minutes in the suffering, because he was pulling it back and forth into me. Like, it was terrible. It was freaking terrible. I could just feel my organs going ripping like all sorts of ways. It felt so bad. I couldn't cry, and like, even there's like, with my own condition where I can't cry, my face becomes like emotionless, and my voice become monotone. I know this because I've been in a lot of painful situations. Like, I've broken bones and been stabbed and shot by people, and let's just say I've been in a lot of pain. Okay, for things that I have a lot of pain. Okay, and a voice becomes mine. So like, it sounds like I'm being sarcastic when I'm in that amount of pain, but I'm not being sarcastic at all. Like, I'd be like, help me, I'm in so much pain. Like, monotone. Like, there's no emotion in my voice. And I'd be like, oh, freaking, why? Like, why can I cry? But anyways, back to what I was saying. I was in a lot of pain. Like, this lasted for so long, and like I was telling you, for 30 minutes in, he eventually first said, let me think of what I was going to say. Yeah, climaxed, and his liquids entered my lungs and started to suffocate me, and it like coughing, like trying to breathe, and it puking up blood and his white nasty goo. I can remember the taste. Stop. I can remember the taste. I'm like, I'm trying to keep myself from gagging. Okay, it's hard. Why do I remember certain things that I don't want to remember? 1 second. So after I puked up the blood and the liquids, and I could taste the stuff that I do not want to specify. The white, nasty, unborn, nasty stuff. So, anyways, like he flipped me over and got all the stuff, mostly all the stuff, out of my lungs, and then he went back to pounding me and ripping up my organs, my poor organs that have. Like, I have scars in my organs, like all over my organs, like multiple scars, like tissue on my organs. Like, it's something I had to live with. But this lasted for 6 whole hours of pain, and every 30 minutes he would what's the word I used? Yes, climax. He would climax, and I would have to puke, and he would flip me over, and it was just a lot of suffering and pain. Like after he was finally done, he cleaned me up with like wipes and stuff. This lasted for 6 whole hours, by the way, of pain. I was wanting it to be over so badly. It was 6 long, painful hours, and he finally, after 6 long and painful torturing hours, he finally like finished and cleaned me up and put my clothes back on. And then my parents came in that room, and they complained about the smell, right? They complained about the smell. It smelled like whatchamacallit. And then he lied and said it was something else, and they believed his tale. And I'm like, you know that at first right I was as a newborn. Like, I was like mad all the time. For very obvious reasons, for very just reasons why I was mad all the time. But like, I was just so mad. Like, I like in pain and suffering for 6 freaking hours. They didn't even come and like ask what happened or something. They just left me with this doctor for 6 hours. This is why I hate doctors. I don't trust them. I don't trust a word they say. But anyways, or nurses, by the way. I don't trust either. I'm like, you might be lying to me. So I research everything they say to make sure it's correct, because they be lying sometimes. And it was 6 painful hours. And like, I was still in pain even after he was like done. I was still in pain, right? And eventually they headed me back to the nurses, right? And the nurses went off and like checked me, and like and they, you know what they said? You know, the 3 nurses that seemed to hover around me suspiciously. You know what they said? Like, why did that doctor do this again? Meaning, this ain't the first time he did this mess. So, why he did this again? And like, oh, I guess she's the new toy that he chose. And you know, I am just so mad. Like, you don't know how angry I was. I am in pain. I have internal bleeding from my many organs that were ripped through, like paper mache. And my like stomach was actually ripped too. It's the stomach acid went off and burned several other organs, like my small intestine and several other organs. And my bladder too. A bit of my bladder too was burned for the stomach acid from my stomach. And I couldn't eat food, okay? Because there was a hole in my stomach, so I couldn't eat no food really, because it kept on coming out of the hole that was in my stomach. So I was just in a lot of pain, and they put me on my back. And that's like I forgot to tell you what position I was in. I was on my back the entire time. By the way, when he was maybe to think of something to say. Yes, I'm gonna say drape. Okay, while he was draping me. Okay, I can't think of any other words right now. So it was it's the most. It was, you know what? This was just the beginning of my suffering, my pain, my anguish. Just the beginning of everything. Just, I only lasted 4 days. 4 freaking days in this world before. 4 freaking days before I got by a PDF. Just 4 days. I was just. I think about it. I think about it every now and then. I just be like, I don't know what to think about. I just be mad. It's just like frustrating, okay? Like you're a newborn and you know for a fact you are very easily can be offed very easily. A drop can literally put you in a grave, and it's just. I just remember being so mad. My internal organs were bleeding out my hole, and there was blood coming out my hole down there from the internal damage to my organs. And then I couldn't eat well because I lost weight during that time because I couldn't eat because the hole in my stomach that I didn't know that I had during the time it was being ripped apart to shreds. It's just painful to think about. Every now and then my organs would hurt where the tissue scars are. Sure, I'm older and stuff, therefore the wounds are smaller and stuff, but doesn't mean they don't hurt every now and then. Especially if I think about the event, I can feel the pain all over again. Everything all over again. The cold counter. Oh my gosh, I feel like crying, but I'm controlling myself. The cold counter. The heat from the friction and pain. my private being hit hard repeatedly by his junk. So yeah, it was horrible. Horrible doesn't even describe it. I can't think of no words to describe my pain. Traumatic and torture and so much. It was just so much. It's too much for me. That's why I said that my memories are more like a tragedy because how bad they freaking are. I don't really have happy memories, okay? I have happy moments. Memories? No. I have not have those. And it's hard sometimes. I be thinking back to my traumahood. That's why I call my childhood. I call it my traumahood because that's all it is. Trauma. Lots of trauma. I just think about it and it's a miracle that I survived this long. Okay, I didn't expect myself to live until I was an adult. I thought I was going to get off before then. So when I became an adult, I was like, oh, I made it. I survived. Not oh, I'm so happy to be an adult. Responsibilities. Yeah, I already had responsibilities before I was even an adult. So I just gonna have more responsibilities. I already had responsibilities. The main responsibility I had was keeping myself alive because, again, my parents pretty much just had me and threw me out to the world and said, "Fit it for yourself. Good luck." That's pretty much what happened. So, so make sure to like and comment and subscribe. Share. Comment, subscribe, and share. Join my Discord server. Don't worry, I'm not crying. I'm close to crying. And I'm close to reach 5,000 subscribers. And yeah, I'll see you when I see you the next video. If I'll make the next video today, if I don't have a meltdown again. So I'll see you later.